What I Wish I Knew When I Was 20 by Tina Seelig. What if one mindset shift could turn failure into fuel? What if the worst job you ever had was actually the best thing that could have happened? Meet Tina Seelig, neuroscientist, professor at Stanford, and the woman who cracked the code on how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. After she bombed her first career, this isn't a self-help pep talk. It's a blueprint, and it all starts with one radical idea. Your life is not a script. It's a startup. Tina gives her students a challenge. Turn $5 into as much money as possible in 2 hours, no cash, no connections, just creativity. One team doesn't use the $5 at all. They sell their time slot to a local restaurant, prime weekend booking window. They made $600. Another team filmed dorm room door knock pranks, uploaded to YouTube, monetized fast. $240? Not bad, but here's the twist. The real lesson wasn't how they made money. It was what they saw when they looked at the world. Most people saw $5. The winners saw assets, time, attention, access, curiosity. Tina calls this the hidden curriculum. The stuff no one teaches you, but determines everything. Like how failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the tuition. She thought she was building a future in science. Turns out she was just following a path, someone else's. She was devastated. But then she asked a question most of us never do. What if this isn't an ending, but an option? Because here's the truth. We spend years training for jobs, but almost no time learning how to create opportunities. Tina realized, life isn't a ladder. It's a jungle gym. You don't climb straight up. You swing, pivot, climb sideways, drop down, and grab something new. And the tool that matters most? Not your degree, not your GPA. It's your attitude toward problems. We say, I can't start a business. I don't have funding. I can't switch careers. I don't have experience. I can't travel. I don't have time. Tina flips this script. Constraints aren't roadblocks. They're rocket fuel. When you have nothing, you're forced to think differently. She tells the story of a student born without hands. People said he couldn't do anything. So he learned to paint with his feet. Now his art sells for thousands. Or the refugee who arrived with one suitcase and built a food truck empire because he had to. No safety net meant no choice but to innovate. Tina says, when you're given unlimited resources, you often waste them. But when you're given nothing, you discover what you're truly made of. So what's your constraint? Too broke? Too young? Too old? Good. Now you've got the perfect excuse to get creative. Here's where most people get stuck. They wait for the perfect idea. But Tina says, ideas are weeds, not orchids. They grow everywhere. Fast, ugly, persistent. The key isn't finding the right idea. It's acting on the idea you have, now. She tells of a student who hated her internship. Instead of quitting, she asked, what if I turn this misery into a business? She started a side hustle, helping other interns survive toxic workplaces. Coaching, templates, even a podcast. Within a year, she'd replaced her salary. No genius master plan, just one small step, then another. Tina calls this the goldfish principle. Put a goldfish in a tiny bowl, it stays small. Put it in a lake, it grows to fit the space. Your life works the same way. Start before you're ready. Build the plane while flying it. Because action creates clarity, not the other way around. Fear isn't the enemy, it's the compass. Tina says, the things you're most afraid of are often the things you most need to do. She worked with a student terrified of public speaking, so she forced herself to stand on a street corner and sing. First day, 2 people listened. She wanted to vanish, but she kept going. By week 3, a small crowd. By month's end, she launched a storytelling workshop. Fear didn't disappear, but it stopped running the show. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's disagreeing with it. And here's the secret. Every time you act despite fear, you rewire your brain. You teach yourself, I can handle this. Now, let's talk about time. We say, I don't have time. But Tina flips it. You don't find time, you make it by what you ignore. She tells of a single mom who earned a PhD while working nights. How? She treated her dream like a job. Every day, 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., just 1 hour. No excuses. Small moments compounded become massive change. And it starts with a question. What am I willing to say no to so I can say yes to what matters? Because your schedule isn't a reflection of your time. It's a reflection of your values. Tina doesn't just teach innovation. She teaches reframing reality. She asks students, what if your hometown is the perfect place to launch your dream? What if your accent is your superpower? What if your trauma is the source of your mission? One student grew up in a war zone. He didn't see himself as broken. He saw himself as trained in resilience. Now, he runs a crisis leadership training company. Another student, raised in poverty, built a financial literacy app for teens. Her pain became her purpose. Tina says, the world doesn't reward perfection. It rewards contribution. So stop waiting to be ready. Stop waiting to be qualified. Start where you are, use what you have, help who you can. So what's the one thing Tina wishes she knew at 20? That you are the architect of your life, not the passenger. Your job isn't to follow a path. It's to design one. And design doesn't start with a perfect plan. It starts with a prototype. So try, fail, learn, repeat. Because every mistake is data. Every no is redirection. Every dead end, a detour you couldn't see yet. Tina didn't become a Stanford legend because she had all the answers. She became one because she asked better questions. So here's yours. What if the thing you're avoiding, the risk, the leap, the scary conversation, is the exact thing that could set you free? What if you started today? Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, today. Because the life you want isn't waiting at the end of a checklist. It begins the moment you decide to play the game, on your terms. Close the tab, open the notebook, write the first line. You've got this. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, tap the bell, and join the Booksbox family as we explore powerful ideas, one book at a time. Catch even more great ideas on our podcast. The link's in the description. Until next time, keep reading and growing.